As we venture into this first week of Tours Plaza Premiere 5th edition, I wish to provide every participant far and wide with much needed motivation. We're headed to uncharted territory. Each and every one of us is going to war. And this is a fight for our friends, our teammates, and our families. As you go into battle each week, remember what you're fighting for. Is it for honor? Is it for glory? I think not. Those around you should be the only factor when it comes to achieving victory or not. Every ladder battle, every test game, every tournament encounter, I ask myself, will I be able to have food on the table if I lose this? Whatever the answer is no, I play at 110% and win! For this rigorous season of Tours Plaza Premiere, I want you all to battle as if your dinner was on the line. No, as if your family dinner is on the line. I wish to only see the most methodical plays. I want you all to make chess grandmasters look like Route 1 trainers. You are all capable of it. You can do it. It's just on you to will it into existence. Pick up your sword and fight! Hey everyone, this is Micoy. Welcome back to another episode of the Pajamas Party Podcast. I am Spartan100 and I'm joined by Spartan200.
PokeArt2004 on vacation mode.
And joining us this time is Spartan number 299. Introduce yourself.
Does anyone hear me? Does anyone hear me? Anyway, this is Euphonos
Speak
from
into the
PokeArt2004.
thing a bit closer. Get a bit closer. Speak close.
I'm closest to the mic apparently, but yeah. Euphonos here. I'm returning from Pokemon Showdown and introducing to you all the Tours Plaza Premiere, the 5th edition. Woo! Let's go!
I still hate the fact that it's pronounced Euphonos and not Euphonos.
It's okay. I don't really mind being called Euphonos.
Where is the name coming from? I actually want to know. Like, what does the name come from?
If PokeArt has an idea about the Philippine magical singers, I'm very sure Micoy
I do.
has an idea about the choir.
Yep.
Yeah. There's this one concert that I've attended, and it's pretty much a premiere of almost everything. Premiere of their choral music, and one of the pieces that they performed was entitled. Apparently, it's Euphonos. It has struck to my head. Yeah.
Okay. As a man of the...
So,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
so that was in 2014 when they premiered it, and a few months later, I changed my slogan name to Euphonos.
Alright.
Apparently, it got apparently it wasn't used that time, so I really am grateful to have.
Yeah, as a man of theater culture, I can honestly agree. Like, we've had some banger theater performances in the past, and I've gotten to watch some of those, and I thought they were pretty good. But it's interesting that it came from a theater character.
From a choral piece.
Yeah, support the Coral Bees, ladies and gentlemen. As Filipinos, we share that connection, y'all. Anyway, last time we covered week 1 predictions, and suffice it to say, we've gotten very lucky in the predictions. Well, as in we've been lucky. As in me. I feel like PokeArt's staring at me through a dagger right now.
Maybe.
Anyway, week 1 is finished, so let's review some games, shall we? Because 32 games have been played, and surprisingly, no one dead gamed. So we're getting a full coverage here, folks. So,
Well, most people won't dead game week 1. You'd have to be a psychopath to do that.
GXE?
No, not even he did game.
Oh, thank God. Thank God then. Alright, so, ladies and gentlemen, let's review some games. First off, we have the Dave's Decidueyes getting absolutely mauled by the Absolute Absol posters in a 2-6 situation. Once again, Absol's proving themselves...
Absolutely, huh?
So Absol posters have continued to cement themselves as a Tours Plaza dynasty at this point. Again, like I've said before, their team is basically a best-of compilation from Absol teams in the past, and with the added temp, what can you go wrong, honestly? So, let's review. First off, PokeAA. We got Fabulu versus Tranquility, and Fabulu won in a not surprising upset.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty 50-50 toss-up.
So, some notes that I have is Primordial C. Overriding Chili Reception was quite interesting. Expected Bring, as someone who doesn't know PokeAA all that well. Euphonos, have you tried PokeAA in the past?
I can confirm he has.
I did, and I really thought, why is there is one mon that was legal with all the abilities in stone alongside adding another one, which is, Masculegion. Masculegion happens to be quite a force in this metagame.
Especially, yeah. PokeArt and I talk extensively on how broken this mon is.
Yeah, but I think you see, in this game there was a Pokemon that was showcased and seemed to be just as broken.
You're talking about the Masquerada, which was a complete asset to Joey, because it was able to knock off all of Axe's items before Axe got even a chance of setting up.
I was talking about Magnezone, which has actually been banned now.
Thank God it did, because Magnezone is a complete standout. Magic Guard to go along with its Steel abilities, using Steel Beam for good damage. Like, thank God it's broken, and thank God it's banned.
Oh yeah, Magnezone. I never thought of that too.
Yeah, Magnezone is really good, and thank God it's...
But I have a feeling Magic Guard should have been banned. For the same reason,
Fair enough.
They also abused Masculegion's Magic Guard to take advantage of Wave Crash combination.
Yeah, Magic Guard should also be banned by that logic, and I hope the Poke Council can take notes of that. Overall, it was a pretty back-and-forth game between two very good teams and good players, resulting in a win for Joey, which gave the Daves one of only 2 victories that they have in this series.
Wow, I guess they really were curb stomped.
Yes.
They started with a banger, but I was like, I was really hoping the Dave's Decidueyes would pull off an upset against them.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised about the Absols doing their thing.
Yep, and they did their thing, and they did their thing well. Speaking of, Stab and Mega, this game was hilarious because this happened so late, and yet this is just an absolute description of how dominant the Absols can be. Ice Master versus Meta Riolu. Meta Riolu immediately sacking both Tyranitar and Ursaluna against Ice's Meloetta, which proved very poorly, as he needed both for both utility and checking, respectively.
Especially Ursaluna for the Zacian later, right?
Yes. People have been saying that the Axel, who I've interviewed while watching this game, he said that Ursaluna is a complete Zacian counter. So,
yeah, best to save it for...
Well, yeah, it is. It counters both of its stabs, and a lot of the other moves it learns. It basically, Zacian just doesn't really have anything to hit it super effectively.
Right? And yes, Meteorioli definitely proved that by... well, he didn't prove it because he sacked Ursaluna, and Isis Meloetta was very dominant there in the first few turns. Nothing much else to say about the game, though. Ice just kind of dominated with Glaive Rush Dragonite, consistently putting the pressure, which really affected meta greatly. And yeah, if that was your first taste when it comes to Ice Master performing in Stab and Mega, who knows what he'll do in the weeks to come.
Oh, I expect good things, but I think you should expect better things from our Stab and Mega.
They're point number 1 for the Litwicks. Boasting about their Stab and Mega player. Alright.
Yeah. I was expecting no less from my guy. From our guy, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, TPP versus Temp in Same 6. Temp has some really good ideas. Iron Defense, Body Press, Iron Treads was a good strat. It really is. It looks good on paper. But TPP...
Unless the opposing Mon has a special attack.
In this case, Samurott, which went ahead and killed the Iron Treads in the process, and even burning Temp's own Samurott in the process, which I guess was his major check against things like Iron Treads, things like Talonflame. But yeah, and he had Swords Dance and Megahorn, which again looked good on paper. It's just, you know, the unfortunate circumstances that came with it. And yeah, Temp also brought Protective Pads, Laser Focus, Ambipom, which worked well against Gudra. Had it been less bulky defense-wise? Defense invested, Gudra?
It makes sense.
It does make sense for it to tank like 5 hits thanks to, you know, Technician, I believe. Technician and, Tail Slap.
No, it was Skill Link.
Oh, Skill Link. Oh, never mind. If it was Technician, it would actually killed it.
5 times.
If it was Technician, it would have killed it. Yeah, but...
Technician loaded dice would have done it, I think.
Yeah, the surprise Temp didn't bring that. Also, during this game, Talonflame did miss a lot of Toxics against TPP's Gudra, which allowed it to live a little bit for longer, ruining Temp's momentum. And Brave Bird killed it in the end. Brave Bird absolutely killed it.
Brave Bird was doing a lot.
Very much.
That Talonflame.
You know what I expect? Gill Wings. That's a Gill Wings Talonflame.
That's an ability, Micoy. That's not an item.
Yeah, but it should be Gale Wings, otherwise, no. Anyway, good win for TPP.
I just think it was invested, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Alright, next up. Partners in Crime. We got Dex versus Shiloh. And oh no, not Partners in Crime.
That's not partner.
Mystery OU. Yeah, stupid. Friggin' this layout is killing me. Mystery OU. We got Dex versus Shiloh. Oh boy, this game. This game was short, wasn't it?
Dex brought mono purple.
Which actually makes sense once you get to Sneasler specifically, when we'll talk about Sneasler a little bit later.
I suppose with Psychic Terrain from Indeedee plus Sneasler both being purple, that makes sense. But this is just a really hyper offensive. This is just a cheese team in which, well, other colors in monocolor OU are just better. Like brown.
Brown, especially, yeah.
Which is what Shiloh brought, right?
Yes, the Shiloh did bring Brown, and guess what? It absolutely murdered. Uh, well,
Brown's really
Your dog starts making appearance.
what was that,
I'll
you?
be back. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back.
Oh,
Quite a
okay.
while.
Okay. But yeah, Dex absolutely he got slaughtered. First of all, it is the Frozen Sneasler at the first couple of turns, thanks to Dragonite Ice Beam. And Dex was trying to break the Garganacl using Great Tusk, but Shiloh went ahead and recovered it for Body Press, which, you know, it's a Garganacl. It'll tank pretty much any physical hit. You're f***ed. And he called the Salt Cure later on the Cloister, which allowed for the forfeit and immediate win in only 19 turns.
Yeah, there's a reason no one else brought purple that week.
They get slaughtered. Slaughtered by Brown. Alright.
Like, JJ used blue versus brown. Almost won, but still lost. Blue's one of the better ones.
Well, better in the context of monocolor, yeah. Alright, next up. Partners in Crime. This one I actually get to talk about Partners in Crime because it's next up is Zern losing to Zoe. PokeArt, you may want to break...
This game.
Yeah, you may want to... You're the Partners in Crime player between all three of us. You should have the most input on what to say about this absolute mugging of Zern.
Okay, so they both brought Cresselia, Heatran, that kind of stuff, right?
Yep, it's the sample. Almost want to call it a sample.
Nah, it's just the meta. But what Zoe brought was a little different. Of course, there was the Cresselia, the Heatran, I think there was a Volcanion. I can't really change tabs because otherwise I can't do the push-to-talk thing.
It was the Goldango and the Volcarona, what you're talking about. Oh, no, that's the...
Oh, yeah, then...
Volcanion was on Zoe's part. Sorry.
Was there a Volcarona?
Zern brought a Volcarona.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I don't recall a Volcarona for Zoe.
So, yeah. Speak of what really happened in this game.
Okay, so this was not the only time this was brought during this week, but Zoe brought, of course, standard Cresselia things, standard things that pair with Cresselia, and then an Ampharos. I'm not sure if this has ever been seen prior, because I do not actually keep up with this tier. I just play it. I just like playing it. I just know how to play it. And, okay, so Zoe brought an Ampharos with the ability Plus, which is useless usually.
But
However,
this is doubles.
The one use this ability does have is that it allows Ampharos to use a move called Magnetic Flux. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Which, if it has the ability plus or minus, it raises both its defense and special defense by 1 stage. And in Partners in Crime, plus is now shared.
Yup. So you can see here the turn 1.
And so is Magnetic Flux.
So you can see here the turn 1. I'm showing you the game right now. The turn 1 had Cresselia and Amphi going up against Grimmsnarl and Amoonguss. Cresselia uses Magnetic Flux, which boasts both Amphi's defense and special defense.
Yeah, because it boosts both Pokemon with the abilities plus or minus, and since they both had plus, it boosted both.
And here's the switch.
As a result, Ampharos also becomes... as a result, Ampharos also has no weakness.
Yes, because Cresselia has Levitate. And now he switches into Goldango, which has good as gold, and yeah. Good as gold plus paired with plus, and then you get the stat boosts from defense and special defense. Well, you have Make It Rain, which is nice, nice damage. Under light screen it's not, but then you got the Tinglu. You want to explain? You want to explain why the Tinglu had safety goggles of all things?
Sure, sleep can be problematic.
Especially in doubles, and the fact that Zoe thought to bring safety goggles on Tinglu against Amphi here was pretty nice. Was well done on his part.
And bear in mind, in Partners in Crime, if you bring in a Moongus with Spore, both Mons get Spore. So if you pair it with something really fast, you can have a really fast Spore coming out on one end, and then boom, your Mons are asleep.
Okay.
So yeah, sleep can be pretty problematic sometimes in Partners in Crime.
Sometimes, yes, but yeah, Magnetic Flux Ampharos absolutely got some big usage. And even though Zern tried to pressure it with the Clear Smog, Gamungus, which by and large should be the most useful mon on his team, he did save it quite well. And even Goldango here, especially with Zern having Terra Electric Goldango, that was also nice. I got to kill Zoe's own Goldango. And then...
Yeah, I guess it was Terra Electric, because if you pair it with Cresselia, then your Goldango has no weaknesses.
Yeah, but, Zoe had...
Plus, you can learn Thunderbolt, so...
You can learn Thunderbolt, yes, which deals stab mega damage. But, when you have Magnetic Flux Ampharos, but basically boosting itself with defense and special defense, what good is it when you're...
Plus, Lunar Blessing Cresselia, which now has defense boosts in both defenses, so now it's basically unkillable.
It's basically unkillable. And yeah, the rest of the game, we saw Cern not... he basically, after the Goldango died, he basically that's it. That's it for me, and then he
wouldn't have been able to break Zoe's team.
No, not a long shot, no. So, yeah, Zoe picked up a pretty dominant win, a very, very strong win, if that was the case.
And this was one of the 4 Partners in Crime games where Cress was brought.
Cress was brought, Cress was broken in it. Next up, multi-gen Rans. We got Super Epic Ampharos going up against Casual.exe. Now, Gen 9 Rans. The Super Epic Ampharos had a pretty good lead going into it, using Crocodile to safely chip Hariyama so both could die. Salazzle managing to toxic both Cinderace and Basculin. Even Terra grounding Volcanion against Ampharos. Which, you could say that Super Epic Ampharos had definitely a good lead in, and definitely showcases good play against Casual in the early parts of this game. However, in the end, though, Casual saved Venomoth for last, Quiver Dancing, Sludge Bombing everything on SEA's team, ultimately picking up the win in Gen 9. Also, Terra stealing as well. And then for Gen 6... it was mostly a short back-and-forth game, both trading mons for kills, basically a typical last Gen 6 Rans game if you follow that meta. Ending with Mega Ray being sacked for D-Knight's E-Speed, Xerneas endgame win for Casual. Good win all around.
I hate to tell you, I don't really follow the Gen 6 Ranbats meta, Micoy.
No, it's basically, it's like back and forth, you're trading mons, you're trading kills, etc., etc.
Okay.
That's basically every Rans generation game, but Gen 6 especially when I played on ladder.
No, it's not Gen 2.
No.
That's for sure.
We're Gen 1. Alright, next up. National Dex Ubers, we got Spellcaster versus The Strap. I will give it to the strap. He brought some heat.
I'm still wondering why you chose Spellcaster over the strap when I don't think anyone was predicting Spellcaster would win.
I didn't know his Pokemon Showdown name was Sky Solo. If I knew before then I would absolutely pick Sky Solo to win.
So you know Sky Solo, and you didn't know that was who the strap was?
I've seen Sky. This is why I don't frequent Smogon people. I don't know the strap. I do know Sky Solo, and I know Sky Solo is good in Ubers.
Okay, then why did you still pick Spellcaster?
Because I didn't know beforehand. That's basically my excuse. I didn't know beforehand. Well, now I do.
Just saying there was more backing up the strap than Spellcaster. You didn't really provide any good reason for picking them.
So that's the predicts. Alright, so speaking of the game itself though, Sash Deanside was a pretty good lead-in by the strap. Having Endeavor to chip Groudon was a pretty good tactic, allowing for the E-Speed kill. Very nicely played there.
It's actually pretty common.
Well, yes, but I haven't seen like the set of Rock Tomb and Moonblast on along with Endeavor, but that's just me. I've only used his Stealth Rock Endeavor, the Insight, not really the other two moves, not really the other two attacking moves. Rayquaza having Lumberry was nice, you know, to try and remove Cramoran's paralysis, losing eventually to Calyrex Scarf. And in the end, Zygarde tried to sweep using Coil plus 1,000 arrows, but Salamence had Dragonium Z in order to kill the Zygarde, ultimately picking up the win. Strap won the game with Salamence thereafter. With Aerial Leap Double H.
I had no doubt the strap would win.
Alright, next up, we have Atrax Madara versus the Number Man. So, this Atrax versus the Number Man game. Can you say Curb Stomp? Can you say Domination? Can you say... What the hell was Atrax thinking about signing up for this tier?
Okay, that's pretty harsh.
Because look at the way tell me in the week 1 game, like what the hell? He's up against TNM, which is like putting the rock against your lowly jobber in wrestling. But yeah, Atrax really got thrown into the wolves here. He got sacrificed. Thanks, Daves. Really showing your support for your teammate here. So Number Man curb stomped Atrax. What can I say? Hemogoblin taking advantage of Atrax's first poor turns. I mean, trying to taunt on the first turn against the Dragapult was and then trying to Hurricane next against the Hemogoblin, which no, you could have just switched out and have a Magearna who can really take care of it. Then again, that is Steel Fighting Magearna. In which case, why would you bring Steel Fighting Magearna?
You sure that Magearna could take care of it? What do you mean?
I mean, it can take a hit and then just kill it with something like Flash Cannon or something special move.
What typing was the Magearna?
Steel Fighting. It was against Dark Fairy thing. Hemogoblin.
Normally Hemogoblin is Fire Fairy, so it's very possible that was running a fire move.
Maybe, but like that's risky still. Normal Ghost Dragapult, then use Curse against the Strategem to try and just chip it, basically, and just remove any possibility of it surviving at least a hit or two. And then Cursed Dragapult was also an easy pivot for the Number Man, as he basically had a free sack, so he can go back and switch to the overpowered Miasma. That thing is dominant in this game, and this absolutely destroyed the rest of Atrax's team. Sweeping both Urshifu or Oromoth and Stratagem later. against the Miasma. That was pretty unfortunate, and in the end, took the win. Very, very good performance by the Numberman, and I wish Atrax. I want to see him improve. I really do.
I think you just want him to play versus someone who isn't the number man, so he has a chance.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully we'll give him something better, so I can have a better review of him. We'll see. Next up, we got the Alcoholics losing to the Anastar Articunos. Once again.
This was, admittedly, the series I cared about the least.
Ouch. I cared, but only a little. First off, the PokeAA game, we got Panu versus Space Speakers. Now, this one was the predict I got right, and you didn't get right, so yay, I win this round of predictions. Panu performed the better. And it was very evident in this game that Panu performed the better in this matchup, able to take out Space's Corviknight early on, and was able to majorly outplay the rest of this game thanks to a good matchup, and Magnezone, always being a constant deal breaker.
Yeah, Magnezone just seems to be broken, as said earlier.
It was very evident in two of these, actually 3 of these games, or unless your game had Magnezone as well, which is case every game had Magnezone had brokenness at some point.
I don't think my game had Magnezone. Let me check.
I don't think it did either. But we'll move on. Next up, Stab and Mega. We got Ursaluna versus Oakleys. We got Derpy Boy versus Oakleys, which Oakleys actually won. Surprised? I wasn't. Were you, Poke?
You weren't?
I wasn't. No.
You still predicted for Derpy Boy.
You also predicted for Derpy Boy.
Yes, but why are you claiming to not be surprised? Explain.
Well, nowadays I'm not, because I've heard that Oakleys actually is pretty good around SNM, according to Axel. So.
According to the Axel, yes.
Yeah, Oakleys is pretty good in SNM, so he definitely.
Derpy Boy was also praised by the Axel too, so.
Yeah. Both players are pretty good, but it's the Oakleys won. First of all, Ursaluna.
An interesting set.
Yes, Ursaluna had First of all, I would like to mention that the Derpy Boy's name is TPP Thrower. Yikes. That's not a good omen for you, Derp. Especially what you did in this game.
Like he meant to throw.
Yeah.
I'm not accusing him of anything.
No, we're not accusing him of anything.
You shouldn't name yourself that.
No, don't name yourself TPP Thrower, okay? It will not benefit your team. Ursaluna under screen, safely protected for the first couple of turns, using Pinsirite and Population Bomb to kill Toxapex. And what's interesting, that it's Flying Ground Ursaluna. So, this...
Yeah, it's always either Red Orb or Pinsirite.
And it's Pinsirite in this case, not the common Red Orb that we've been seeing a lot lately. So, yeah, even though it got toxic later, Ursaluna was still managing to get Flying Ground there, getting a bulk. Derpy Boy had a bulk up milk drink set, which I personally am a big fan of. Like, go anything that can sweep anything is cheese to the max. And yeah, the main event was this Dialga right here. So this thing had Dragon Dance, and he set up twice against the Meloetta. Meloetta did Rapid Spin, not really that doing much damage. And then Dialga had Gigaton Hammer. And then he had Earthquake. And he got Earthquake to take care of the Goldango. He tanked the E-Speed right here to take the Earthquake. And then he did the Gigaton Hammer again, which failed the Tyranitar and eventually picked up the win. Not bad.
That Dialga set was insane.
It was great.
I actually know what the item was too.
Which one is it?
You wanna know?
So I just learned what the item is, and yes, it's broken. Alright, next up. Siphicon versus Lady Salamence. With this kind of same six, which was pretty odd. Let's see the game, shall we? Well, actually, I won't be able to show you the game much because well, actually, no, I will show you the whole game because it lasted like what? 20 turns? 20 turns at max? I don't know. Basically, it's this freaking Regirock, okay? Lady Salamence had that freaking Regirock, which had Stealth Rock and Iron Defense, basically tanking all the Hitmonchans. What Hitmonchan was going for. Had Body Press to take out the Regirock, and I'm really, really surprised that Tentacruel was freaking physical. I get why, it's just... Against a Regirock? Is that really the best idea? To bring a physical Tentacruel against a Regirock?
Obviously not. I kind of wonder why they made it physical to begin with.
Me too. Weird. What? Do you think, do I expect like Gunk Shot, Rapid Spin on this Tentacruel as well? Okay. And...
Regirock is kind of known for its physical defense, so why wouldn't you take advantage?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Because the fact that it got swept thanks to Iron Defense Body Press should really be a good indication. Also, he missed the Focus Blast on the Iron Juggies, which was very unfortunate. But why rely on Focus Blast when you should have your Tentacruel instead be special? You couldn't even kill it with Unfeathered. You got 6-0'd by a Regirock, Siphicon. Be blessed. Yeah, brings back Gen 3 nostalgia nightmares for you Regirock fans out there. Alright, next up is OU. We got Dugza versus Skimmy the God, and this was the game that caused a lot of controversy.
Started drama.
Yep, caused a lot of controversy. What do we mean by that? Well, Skimmy brought Sneasler.
It was the argument of is Sneasler purple or is it blue? Da ba dee da ba die.
Yeah, someone even made a joke on the thread.
That's what I was referencing.
Exactly. So yeah, this started a bit of drama, which, you know, PS rule states that Sneasler is purple. Then Bulbapedia says that it's blue. So which is really correct, ladies and gentlemen? You argue down in the comments below where Sneasler should be considered purple, should be considered blue.
No, don't tell them to argue in the comments.
It'll
settled which one it is already after a long, tedious chat about it. So please don't start it again.
Yes. 50 minutes. It took literally 50 minutes to get this thing resolved. This is number 2 drama, and we haven't gone a full week yet. You baseless. Well, now we have, thank God, which resolved pretty quickly, actually. But yeah, I think it should be more indicated in the OP thread that you should consider what sort of rule set you should use for your monocolor team, and before you even start to build, or just before even starting to play. But that's just me. But yeah, the game wasn't non-existent after that. The game really wasn't that interesting to begin with. Dugza just basically traded with Skimmy. Both players trade kills left and right. Nothing much really to note. Dugza just picked up the win mid Meowscarada. It was pretty baseless. It was a pretty boring game to watch, not gonna lie. Good win, Dugza.
Yeah, I would have preferred it if they just played it out from the start, like JJ and Ewin did.
was.
Even though JJ also brought a Sneasler.
We'll talk about that again when we talk about that. But yeah, Dogs have picked up the win. Good win. Boring game. Next up, partners in crime. We got Yuki versus Chromate. I've talked in the past how matchups like this, where you got an amazing player in their respective tier going up against another player in their respective tier, seem to underperform, be anticlimactic. It just fails to live up to the hype. I can call an exception with this game. This game led to the hype and actually built upon it. It's like Attack on Titan. It's an amazing game with amazing hype around it, and the game itself was damn good. It's even better than Zoe versus Zern, I'd argue. Well, actually, I'd argue that because it's between two PIC council leaders. Duh. So yeah. PokeArt, could you explain once more what happened in this game? Actually, no, I actually saw this game more, so I saw this game live.
Yeah, you do it.
So I'd do it. But you know exactly what happened. It's the freaking... So this more fun game. You got a Gomora going up against... You got a Gomora and a Tinglu lead up against the Grimmsnarl and Heatran lead up. And you're thinking, oh, Flashfire, friggin' Prankster, that's nice. You get to set up Iron Defense Heatran for the Prankster, and switch out to Cresselia, which has Levitate, basically making Heatran moot. Very, very OP in that regard. So that was a good lead. Very good lead. Now, you think Ninetales would win by this point, but no. Chromate had other plans.
Ninetales? I think... Can you just say Yuki by any chance?
Sorry, Yuki. Yuki had other plans. Yuki had imprisoned Cresselia. What?
Yuki did? I thought Chromate had
Sorry.
that.
Yeah, sorry. Chromate. Stupid. Switch sides. There. Cresselia had imprisoned. And he switched it into Tinglu. That basically means Stealth Rock, Spikes, Ruination, Whirlwind, just any moveset that this Tinglu may have had, basically nullifies anything that this Tinglu can't use. And even Glomora gets affected because it runs also Stealth Rock, Spikes, etc. So yeah, good way to start off your game, Chromate. Then you had what we consider to be the ripoff of Zoe, because, you know, Zoe's game played first before this. You got the Magnetic Flux Ampharos coming back, and once again, as we explained, plus Magnetic Flux absolutely benefits both your teammates, and this one was absolutely fine. This benefited the Volcanion a lot, which lived off a nasty plotted Shadow Ball on the Goldango. And, you know, Chromate just kind of just sat there with the Cresselia, you know? He sat there with the Cresselia, he had Calm Mind and Stored Power, and he also had Imprisoned, so, you know, you can't let him set up or anything like that. Kills the Goldango kills the Volcanion with Goldango, and then basically runs it wild. Even though they got poisoned later by the Glomora, they could really stand a chance against the Cresselia, which in turn killed them all, and killed the plenty it did. Oh boy, this man, and went wild. And Chromate basically won off of that. Just have Cresselia sat there, and have Tinglu and Goldango play good roles in order to dismantle all of Yuki's team, and won. So what can I say? Good, PokeArt?
Yep.
Next up, multi-gen rants. We got Fragments beating Irene 2002. Expected. Wasn't it a pretty expected result?
I expected that.
Okay. But what I didn't expect that this game went to 3 games, because the Gen 1 game, Irene had all the luck going their way. Getting Gloom to paralyze 3 times, having Nidoking outmatch most of what Fragments chose, Thunderbolt, Earthquake, Blizzard against a pretty Nidoking weak team allowed Irene to take Gen 1. Gen 6 then had Mega Camerupt Okoing Zatu in turn 1, allowing Fragments to set up hazards freely. Umbreon trying to stall out Camerupt's Fire Blast at one point. Reshiram missing a blue flare to kill the Camerupt, and then Caracosta failing to kill Tangrowth with Shell Smash boosted Stone Edge in order for Fragments to get the Leaf Storm in and eventually win. And then finally, Gen 9, we saw the Terra Ground Gyarados becoming a problem at first until it was put to sleep by a Alolan Persian. But the real MVP of that game was Terra Water Glaceon. It allowed itself to wish stall any potential threats Irene may oppose. Fragments did an oopsie, but not good going into Toxicroak a bit earlier than expected, but eventually he won at the end, so that's to be expected. I wish he just didn't wish stall a lot. So yeah, that was the game.
Player diff.
Next up, National Dex Ubers, we got Ainscrad versus FC. I feel so bad for Boyne here. He got pretty unlucky in the first couple of turns. First of all, failing to kill Toxic and Stone Edge Cramorant with Groudon, letting take Mega Ray and kill the Cramorant for only it to be paralyzed. Why? That's Groudon is just, it didn't hit the Toxic and it didn't hit the Stone Edge. What?
I mean, that's a decent trade-off, getting the Mega Ray paralyzed. I mean, that's usually Cramorant's only purpose, getting a mod paralyzed in exchange for dying.
Yeah, and, you know, I wish Ainscrad would have killed, I wish Groudon would have hit the Stone Edge so Cramorant dies faster, so that Ainscrad wouldn't have to deal with Mega Ray being paralyzed, but that's just me. But, you know, Zacian was the MVP of this game. Used to great effect by FC, picking up revenge kills on Rayquaza, even using Groundium Z to beat the Duskmane Necrozma. And then after...
Yeah, no, that was kind of heat.
That was heat. And after multiple turns of FC using Draco Meteor to kill the low HP mines, Ainscrad tried to use Zygarde as a last-minute win con, you know, having the coil and the 1,000 arrows, only to lose to Arceus Water afterwards. Unfortunate.
Yeah, would you say he lost to Hacks and Bad MU, Micoy?
Yes, he absolutely did. Ainscrad lost to Hacks and Bad Matchup, the meme of Taurus Plaza. That should be our motto. Taurus Plaza Premiere. Hacks and bad matchups only. And finally, we got Hidden versus Mossy Sandwich, and the amount of time it takes me to say that matchup out loud is even longer than the match itself, because it only lasted 9 turns.
That was a very short match indeed.
Why?
It's like even shorter than Ladies Elements versus Civicon.
Yeah, I don't know why I predicted for Hidden in this game, because Mossy absolutely...
Yeah, why did you?
Because I had faith, because it was gut instinct, but unfortunately that wasn't the case.
Your gut, it says some really weird things sometimes.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Well, you have a better success rate with your gut. So, yes, Mossy had screens up, had a weakness policy, shift gear, calm mind, Magearna set, which activated, and then ultimately swept with Stored Power, which Hidden really couldn't do anything about it. And yes, our review of the game was even longer than the game itself, so yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, next up. The Full Moon Frostmoths losing to the Opalucid metagame Mashers.
You guys were very lucky. let me tell ya.
I will admit, we are very lucky. Let's begin the review, shall we? First off, and
Luck to win our series.
oh boy. We'll expect that. First off, PokeArt2004 Don Vasquez versus Eggs. Don had an insanely good matchup in this game. Only Palafin, as Eggs is really only good damage dealer amongst the sea of status mods. It was fine, but in the end, you know, you gotta prioritize bulk and being able to do damage, not just go in one way or the other. Don took advantage of that and ultimately won with the Meowscarada, who is the MVP, Thunder Punching Corviknight at turn 1, paralyzing it, and then Flower Tricking both Magnezone and Clodsire for the safe win.
Meowscarada is pretty dang good in PokeAA.
It's really good. Have you seen the thing? Protean and give it like adaptability.
Protean, Banded, Sword of Ruin.
Sword of Ruin even. Like it goes crazy. Next up, Stab and Mega. Elgino versus the Dragon Master. This game was weird.
Wasn't this a slaughter?
Yeah, this game was weirdly played by Advita because we were cheering for him and his prep looked good, but the game itself was really weirdly played. First off, well actually no, though the major thing that happened in this game was the Regieleki trying to kill the Zacian with Double Shock. Didn't kill it, unfortunately, and in the end, sacked the Regieleki. If he hadn't sacked the
Bro
Regieleki...
switched out his Ursaluna and found the Zacian, right?
Right, yes. He switched out the Ursaluna to the Regieleki. And then it Wild Charge. So Advita thought, hey, let's Double Shock. Okay, then try to get some major chip. Then Zacian ends up killing it. Why didn't he just switch back into the Ursaluna? I don't know.
Well, it probably wasn't a good idea to switch back into it. It's more of a question as to why he switched out in the first place.
Right. And yeah, that basically was a momentum blower, and as Av kind of, he didn't exactly do well here in this game, especially with Elgino kind of, using the Dragon Fairy Dragonite, right, to try and get some chip damage on it. Using the Zacian as well to just kill everything in its path. And yeah.
And then there was using Toxapex as a wall for said Dragonite, but obviously that didn't work.
Thunder Punch, yeah. So you gotta be careful in what you build, guys.
So gets Earthquake.
It's Earthquake and Thunder Punch, easily. Yeah, really played game by Advita. I hope he's improving, and I hope in this next week he does improve because he's gonna have a really hard opponent. Next up is my game. Me versus Reginald happened, and I'm not gonna mince words. I hacked Raji bad in this game. So bad. First of all, I thought it would. So let me talk about my thought process going into this game. So I thought it would be a good idea to lead with Sash, with Life Orb Arcanine, going against my team's own wishes to bring Sash Arcanine, which I now know is a better lead. Okay, I was thinking Life Orb because I wanted the extra juice.
I have no idea why you wanted Life Orb.
Why?
That's just not really a good idea.
Because I want the extra boost, okay?
Your Arcanine to get chipped.
I want the extra boost if in case Latios is defensive invested. Now I know why.
Freaking expert belt.
Expert belt? No. Arcanine was better as a pure lead. Just Stealth Rock, Focus Sash, and then basically sack it for a kill. I get it now. But Reginald missed it twice with Head Smash in the beginning. Letting me set up rocks easily in the first place. Like, poor Raji. He had chances to beat up my Arcanine, and then I ultimately like dodged it twice because skill. So yeah, I switched in the Latios because it was the defensive tank. It was defensive and boosted Latios, and I wanted physical because Dragonite Latios was pretty good defensive wise against a pretty Latios weak team such as Raji's. Then I send in the Araquanid after he sets up Sticky Web, and oh boy, I gotta give credit to my boys over there at the Sim 6 builder because my god, this Araquanid, I wouldn't have thought of that if I would have just gone straight up webs if it were me, but nope. The boys said to bring Liquidation, Iron Defense, Leech Life, Sleep Talk with Charty Berry as my item. And I told the boys that I would be very specific with my EV spreads, and they gave me a good enough EV spread that allowed me to outspeed certain Araquanid and to tank some major hits. And so I used Sleep Talk here against Breloom, who was obviously going to Spore, and then went immediately straight to Leech Life. He missed the Rock Tomb, though, which was very unfortunate. So I had Sleep Talk, tried to boost my Iron Defense, got the Charty Berry off to activate once, and then proceeded to Leech Life, if the man. And then the then the Salazzle ended up, I lived the Salazzle Sludge Wave enough to get me a Liquidation to kill it. And then Latios came, tried to dual wing beat me. He misses. And yeah, I got to free Leech Lives. I got to do 2 free Leech Lives because he was missing so much. So yeah, I'm so sorry, Reginald. I didn't want this game to happen I didn't want this game to happen in the way it did. I just wanted to win with physical Latios, okay? I didn't want to win with hacks and bad misses, okay?
Well, I did tell you you would win.
Thanks for the support. You should have bolded me, though.
Look, it's not a prediction that you would win. I just kind of decided it there and then.
It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Shoutouts to it.
Yeah, I was spoiling it for you before it happened.
Well, I just needed the luck, apparently. I just got lucky.
I gave you some of that good LCAP RNG.
Yes, thank you, LCAP, for being such a prick with RNG to know that to allow me to benefit off of that RNG, okay? Next up.
I didn't mean it was actually his.
Yes, I know, and yes.
I just meant that was the kind of quality it was.
Yes, I know. Prick. What a prick. Anyway, next up, Mystery OU. We got Piyush versus Sylveon use Calm Mind. Sylveon started great in this game. OHKOing Volcanion and burning...
Keyword started great.
Yeah, he would started great. Like, he OHKO'd Volcanion and burned Dragonite, for examples. But what happened in this game? I'll tell you what happened. It was the Terra Fairy Garganackle. You would think, oh, the Terra Water. Now, Sylveon would thought, oh, the Terra Water Garganackle would absolutely try to wall this. This gets body press critted. Which was...
Well, that's not the only problem, Micoy. It wouldn't have won in the first place.
It wouldn't have won? Like, it still would have... Would it live a hit?
Salt Cure.
Yeah. It also was affected by Salt Cure and it being Terra Water. That's gonna break some more HP off of you, Sylveon. And so, yeah. In the end, Garganackle just kind of...
It lost in the long run.
It did, yes. And, yeah, as evidenced by this game, it did lose in the long run. Ended up getting killed with Iron Defense Body Press. And the Salt Cure just kind of adding in a little bit of things. Also, he used Terrablast? He used Terrablast Landorus at one point, which wouldn't an Earthquake would have been better?
Maybe?
Like, it was at 10%? No, 18%. And yes, it may have been boosted +4, but why go for the special move when you can calc it, and an Earthquake, I think, would have done more, right? I want to say it done more. Unless the calc is wrong, and then, yeah, Terrablast would have done more. But it didn't get the kill. Unfortunately, it recovered, and ultimately, it won. The Terra Fairy Garganacl won in a 6-0 reverse sweep. So yeah, that was very unfortunate. Next up is Partners in Crime. We got Instruct versus Class. Now, I was kind of worried for Class at the beginning of this game because he didn't post his team in the team chat beforehand. He was confident in his builds and he took to it in his game against Instruct. Who was kind of worried for, because Instruct, he may not have the best plays, but he does build teams that benefit off of plays, and this BIC being a very build-heavy tier, it was expected that the better team would win. Right? Well. Class did an oopsie. Class did a huge oopsie in his game. He brought Lunar Dance instead of Lunar Blessing on his team.
Very unfortunate.
This is why and he even said that he checked the team beforehand, but like, double check. Always make sure to double check your dang team, because moments like
test games.
because moments like that,
you would have noticed if you played test games.
No, moments like that can get you memed heavily, Class. I am so sorry. You are my manager though. So yeah. He wasted his heat trying to turn 4 by sacking it to the Lunar Dance. Despite that obvious F-up, Class still performed better in this game. Cresselia was used very well with its bulk, and Tinglu survived on Sword Stance, Iron Hands, Drain Punch in order to take the win. Any other thoughts, PokeArt?
Not really, just that I guess Class had the better team.
Check your teams, guys. Check your teams beforehand.
Yeah, you guys are fricked now. They're gonna clobber you. I don't know.
Watch us bring Lunar Dance into our own game next week.
Silly you, Cresselia is banned now.
Thank God it is. Thank God it is. So we don't have to have Lunar Dance instead of.
So let's see what you try to cook up without Cresselia.
Alright, next up. Multi-gen rans, we got Aero B versus Yes or No, my dude. And yeah, you were like, huh, who's this Aero B guy? Well, I still don't
know who it is.
Well, he goes by the PS username of Pure Hackmons.
That helps me not.
That doesn't help you. Well, it helps me, because I know now, because Pure Hackmons is actually a pretty decent player. But Rans notwithstanding, because he builds good teams, he does cook, but I didn't expect him to play Rans of all games to start out his TPP journey. But he did quite well here against Yes or No, my dude. Very well, in fact. So to start things off, the Gen 9 game had Aero B just outpacing Yes or No, my dude, using pretty good predicts, and just picking out a very balanced team, using Abomasnow, to fairly dish out dangerous blizzards. Dedenne managing to nuzzle both Titan and Mimikyu. Terra Dragon Garganackle working together with Golduck to kill the Terra Fairy Dondozo was pretty nice. Airby kind of dominated, yes or no, my dude, if I do say so myself.
That Golduck was surprisingly a very hard hitter.
Very hard hitter. Especially when you boost it with Nasty Plot. And then Gen 6 came. Well, Airby, once again, very good. It's actually very good at picking teams for Rans. Because he had a very strong team against Yes or No My Dude. He had a really good team to match up with his team. Well, Yes or No My Dude's team wasn't really the best. It's just Airby's was very, very strong. Amoonguss being a reliable asset, both poisoning both the Beartic and the Goodra, as well as tanking ice beams from Porygon Z and knockoffs from Kingler. Zygarde was also crippled thanks to Slurpuff and Slowbro. Just overall very good plays by Aerobee in order for him to take the win, which was very nice. Very nicely done.
Too bad Airby ain't winning this week.
Meh. Next up, Concept Everything versus Guard. Now, our boy, I was scared for a lot of this game because Concept Everything actually played pretty decently here in this game against Guard. Ho-Oh being sacked early game was great for Concept. It was bad for us because he possibly has every right to send in Zacian freely with no outliers in Guard's team. But then Guard turned around at turn 24. Turn 24, with being able to catch Calyrex with Toxic and stalling out its Grass Knots with Arc Dart, as well as he tanked the Rayquaza's Scale Shot thanks to the low rolls. Basically, Concept Everything had Rayquaza hit Scale Shot 5 times, I believe, but they were all really low rolls, and which allowed it to tank the hits, and Arc Dark was able to tank the hits and ultimately kill it. And then Mega Slowbro then carried Guard towards the end game, being able to outplay Ditto disguised as Groudon, body pressing Zacian for the win. A very great win by Guard. Next.
Because are we in the Litwick section?
Oh, we're getting there, but we're getting there. But first off, we gotta get your input on Saba versus Carl Dude Guy's game. What did you think about this game?
I actually have not watched the entire game yet, but what I've noticed, based on what I've watched with Carl, and given Carl tested with me, is that screens are actually borderline broken, and we're actually going to bring that up in the Camelmon's how is it called it? It's the Camelmon's metagame itself. Not in the vanilla Camelmon's metagame, not just the Cap and Camel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That we could. Those are the two main things that are worth bringing up, given Green's offense is really one of the most prevalent meta games that even I have difficulty breaking.
Yeah, Screens has definitely been a big asset to these Cap Camo games. Yeah. Well, Screens...
You shouldn't say that you have difficulty breaking that.
Screens offense is definitely broken. I have seen a lot of teams with Screens offense before, especially in these TPP games, and they can easily break things, especially when you have broken mons to basically benefit off of the screens. And
Like Magirna?
Like Magirna from the Mossy game, and...
Okay.
Hemogoblin was a menace under light screen early on, able to kill Oko Venomicon really early on, giving Carl a distinct advantage in this game. And then Meowsma just went ahead and set up Scale Shot, doing just enough to beat the Grass Steel Glamora, and then boosting its speed enough to sweep and win. which was a very nicely done, a very nicely built team by Carl. I was really proud of his build, and the fact that he was able to get the win off of Meowsmaw of all things. I understand that thing is kind of broken, but still.
And Miasmo is actually a huge threat to reckon with as right now. And for the realm of Cap and Camo, we're actually having our watch. We're watching a close eye on that mon.
Yep. Okay, fair enough, because that thing can easily break teams.
Should you be saying
Yeah.
this?
Hey,
Yeah.
PokeArt, we're gonna keep things fair. PokeArt, keep things fair for both of our teams, especially next week, okay? Speaking of
Yes, next week.
Speaking of your team, Euphonos and PokeArt, since you are the Litwicks, we gotta talk about your win over the Bloss team of the Twin Leaf Tinkatons.
My loss against Kepper. Not that I don't want to bring it up. It's just that I'm just a fan of Sun lately.
Yes.
And apparently Kepper knows that I'm actually bringing Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Given my tendencies lately.
Yeah.
But I have lots of teams at my disposal. I just have to build lots of. I'm trying to carry all the strategies that I've brought from what I've learned from playing Camo, or playing Cap, from playing all of even from past gens. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's...
apparently nothing worked. Nothing worked.
Again, you gotta be protective of your builder, especially when Kepper brings us on. But we'll talk about that game in a little bit. First off,
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, PokeArt, since you're still here, let's talk about Poke AA with Swiftix versus Rafna.
Rafna goated.
Rafna is goated, and it was a very short game, which saw Rafna bring a pretty good team to good use. Using Basculegion and its broken abilities, Basculegion play number 1, to sweep through Swiftix's team, even using Ability Shield Clodsire to immunize Swiftix's own Basculegion, and then low kicks just out prioritizing Regieleki for the win.
Turns out that the Tinkatons didn't even know that item existed.
I didn't know that thing existed.
I knew that thing existed. Why do you think Basculegion's still legal?
I don't know.
Because of that damn item.
Ability Shield is like your only out against freaking anything that Basculegion had to offer. It's really good. And yeah, Swiftix didn't know and got clobbered because of it. Poor Swiftix.
It's the only reason Basculegion is still legal for Storm Drainers and Clodsire to have abilities.
Just ban it. Next up, Zastra versus Axel. And my god, this again, we're reversing Axel being goated. It sets up Reflect on Regieleki and allows a physical sweeper to set up and sweep. Twice. That was basically the Axel versus Zastra game in a nutshell. First, Zacian, who swept half of Zastra's team, and then Ursaluna, who took out Goldango. Screens is very terrifying, ladies and gentlemen. Also, to clean the rest of the game, Axel used Gyarados' Aerodactylite to Surging Strikes both against Iron Hands and Tyranitar. Axel goated.
Axel goated, and you haven't even seen the best of it.
Not yet, anyway. National Dex, same 6. GXC versus TMM. TMM did self-admit that he's never beaten GXC. And yeah, This was very evident. Especially GXC had hacks in his favor because he had a freaking Tankaton as his own same sex. Bias! But yeah, GXC...
And I guess maybe our building could have been a bit better. GXC had the better build into ours.
Yes, very, very better build because Nidoqueen was the reliability, basically the reliable safety check against everything TMM brought. He defeated potential threats like Haxorus and then not allowing not allowing TMM's own Nidoqueen to substitute. Poor TMM didn't have anything going for against GXC and ultimately lost.
Not gonna lie, I was always a little scared of Scarf Nidoqueen in the back of my mind, but I never really knew if it would be the right thing to bring. Cause like, once like Zard X sets up one Dragon Dance, Scarf Nidoqueen doesn't outspeed that. It doesn't outspeed any other Scarfer either.
Nope, not at all. Not even Haxorus. Not even Haxorus. Unless you're bringing like Haxorus Scarf or anything.
And like, yeah, so, last summer I did my first draft league, and one of the mons I had was Nidoking, and I found myself often using Scarf Nidoking. It worked pretty well.
Jeez.
But so that's why I always had the idea of Scarf Nidoqueen in the back of my mind for this, and I was just kind of hoping it wouldn't see the light of day.
And JXE brought it. JXE brought it to his own benefit.
It ended up being a really good bring here, while we brought a Scarf Celebi.
Oh, not very good. Not very good. Alright, next up. Ewin.
We didn't get to actually show a lot of the interesting text we brought. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate, but yeah.
And both Charizards did next to nothing. What the hell?
It was all Nidoqueen PokeArt. It was all Nidoqueen. Alright, next up, we have Ewin versus JJ. This was the first game, I want to say, that was played this week. Oh yeah, this was the first one.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
surprisingly it was.
Yeah, this was the first game. This is where we had the argument before because JJ brought a Sneasler. Very controversial pick, but ultimately it was decided that Sneasler should be considered both purple and blue. Odd.
No, we just didn't talk about for this game because
This was
JJ lost.
Because JJ lost and Ewin won. Which was, unexpected on the part when you're actually watching the game because JJ, for the most part, had Hazard set up nicely for the first few turns. Glamora's rocks and T-spikes allowed it to cripple Ewin's mons, which had pretty much no Hazard removal. So it shouldn't be good, right? Well, his builds kind of backfired on him for the most part. Sneasler only having acrobatics for damage, and Walking Wake only having Dragon Pulse.
Not just acrobatics, it's just that was the most powerful move it could hit D-Knight with.
What?
The other two moves couldn't hit harder.
Okay. But
CC and Night Slash, by the way.
Okay. And Walking Wake only having Dragon Pulse, thus immunizing itself against Volcanion, which Terra Fairied.
Didn't only have Dragon Pulse, it was just too afraid to use the Water Moon because there's a freaking Water Absorbmon on the other end.
Yeah, and it backfired on him, and basically that just ruined all the momentum in the world for JJ. Ewin basically took advantage of that and dominated hella near the end. Taking out a Terra-fighting Cerulege to win. So yes, Ewin absolutely won. I still would have predicted Ewin to win either way had this game happened a little bit later, but hey.
Look, I think the Sneasler build was kind of faulty in this matchup because,
Exactly.
I mean, Night Slash is a move for Golden Go. But you're not really gonna see a Golden Go in monocolor, you know?
Right. Better to have Gunk Shot in that case.
No, Dire Claw even.
Dire Claw too, yeah. Just any poison move better than freaking Night Slash, which is not even stab. Unless you're Terra.
Yeah, because you're not really gonna see mono yellow.
Yeah. It's not even good. It's not even good, mono yellow. Next up, partners in crime, we got Jaspros versus Smudge. Okay, PokeArt. You have a pretty good idea on what happened during this game, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Jaspros it was a pretty strong team by Jaspros, designed to really counteract a lot of Smudge's mons on his team, which, for the record, Smudge's team was the most basic ass PIC team I've ever seen. In Gen 9.
Well, yeah, I mean, he doesn't play the tier, so what do you expect?
In Gen 9. First few turns, though, was strong, able to defeat Cresselia with a double E speed after setting up Trick Room. And then, towards the end, it was the Mousehold and the Qian Pao's teamwork that was able to clean the rest of Smudge's mons. Sucker Punch on the Goldingo and Landorus on the Ice Spinner.
And population bombing the other mons, and Chen Pao just hitting really hard, and then the Mousehold hits even harder with its population bomb. Technician boosting too.
And sort of ruin because, you know, Qian Pao.
Yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning that out of the 8 teams brought to these 4 games of Partners in Crime, Jasp's team was the only one without a Cresselia.
Right? And it won the game.
Only one.
It won the game. It won the game as well. So, yeah. Screw you, Cresselia users, I guess. Glad to see that Moonduck is banned in Partners in Crime. Because, yes, Cresselia has been banned from Partners in Crime at the time of this video.
Yeah, for one thing, it sucks that we don't have a good Levitate user anymore. At least not that I'm aware of right at the top of my head. But that thing was too broken.
You could use, like, Electros or something.
Is that even legal?
It's...
Oh, yeah, wait,
it is. It is.
I always forget that's an Enneumon.
Yeah. I mean, you could use Electros.
I don't like it.
For Levitate, you know?
I don't like it.
You could use a coil
I don't like that Pokemon.
Fine. I don't like it. I don't like it in game. I don't like it in versus. Okay, next up. Multi-Gen Rans, Avarice versus Los Shoto. Gen 9, we saw the Skeledirge match up to Volcanion very well. Pessimian able to remove Annihilape's leftovers for a safe kill. Regidrago being good checks against Avarice's Mewtwo and Iron Leaves. And Terra-fighting Weavile, despite crit-killing Garganackle, had to contend with Sableye in a 1v1. Losco won in the end.
As he does.
Gen 6. Golduck was used very early game, burning Garchomp and then killing it with Ice Beam later. Pidgeot managing to defog away Avarice's hazards before he could even set up Toxic Spikes again. And Scizor managing to bullet punch everything else to win. So, yes.
Can't say I expected any less from the Losco no Shoto.
Yes, the man is broken in Rans, and I am scared that he might be the next Michael Durbest. Ah! And I am jinxing you right now. Alright. Next.
Oh, are you jinxing me?
Sorry, that's a
Are
Yoko.
you?
No, sorry. That's a Yoko thing. That's not a me thing. Alright. Next up, we got Tear Acid.
Did you notice who just joined back?
Yes, I do. Hi, Euphonos. Next up, Tear Acid versus Force of Death in ND Ubers. which was the last game that was played this week. So you Litwicks get the bookend. You get to bookend your wins with a loss in the first game and then a win in the last game. All right, Sash, Iron Treads, and Sash. So, Farce brought a really weird team. Farce did bring a really weird team. You got Sash Iron Treads and Sash Mega Ray. Worked for the first 2 turns dismantling Tier Acid's Koraidon. Mewtwo having low kick work against Mega Diancie and taunt for Xerneas is an interesting build, putting more momentum on Farce's side. And then despite Tier's Arceus winning against Farce's own Arceus in the speed tie, Scarf Koraidon won against Kyogre in the end. Well, there...
mention the bullet punch play?
Oh yeah, I also gotta mention the bullet punch play because Mega Lucario managed to bullet punch Xerneas, and it didn't kill. I think it was a roll actually. It might have been. We're not sure.
I'd imagine.
All right, and now you get to talk now more extensively about your game against Kepper. So take it away, you.
Mention triple sash.
Now that you've mentioned it,
I did mention it, PokeArt.
okay, I've used Preload for quite some time now during my stint in Cap. Now, with that, I actually forgot. Again, wait, sorry. I actually forgot the speed tier, the speed tier of Preload, and then eventually my Charizard died.
Yeah.
I'll be back again. Oh my god.
Yeah. The Krilowad was definitely a big killer in this game because it kind of messed up your team. Like everything Kepper brought was basically just counteracting pretty much everything that you had to bring, you.
I think he's gone.
Yeah, the Krilowat definitely killed off of Euphonos' team very, very, very badly. Ice Beam and Earth Power just kind of took out everything. And yeah, Sun doesn't work in the best of situations, PokeArt. You being the Sun Master and all.
I'm just gonna say I don't think Sawsbuck was the best idea.
Right, like, I was gonna say, like, what? Sawsbuck? I get Chlorophyll, but there surely is a better Chlorophyll user in OU, right?
Not necessarily OU, but
or Cap, actually.
Surely there are ones that are better than Sawsbuck, right?
Right, Cap mods also have
wish
some
you
Chlorophyll.
was here with us to elaborate on why Sawsbuck.
So, yes, Krilowat absolutely destroyed Euphonos. Kepper picked up a win of a very, very classic Kepper. Classic Kepper fashion.
I think we should mention that the matchup into Sun, the Kepper's matchup into Sun was very good. As Euphonos, I think, said, that Kepper basically predicted he would use it.
Mm-hmm. Even talked about it after the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I kind of looked at this and I saw the grass steel colossal with flash fire. I'm like, is it me or is this matchup shit?
Yes, it's very well prepared against the team Euphonos is bringing, which is Sun. Unfortunate. So, before we move on to predictions, let's count on how many wins the predictions championship between me and PokeArt went for week 1. PokeArt, can you kindly read the results?
Yes.
Read them, woman.
Okay, in first place. No, do I read second first?
You read second first, so that we'll keep people in suspense.
Oh, okay. In second place, with 14 out of 24 predicts, we have me.
And guess who won for week 1?
For once.
For once!
In first place, we have, with 16 out of 24 predicts, Micoy.
Yay! Basically, I got most of the Litwicks versus Tinkatons matchups right, while PokeArt failed to acknowledge us and basically say that we are the better team against the Frostmoths.
Basically, I got all of your matches wrong except 2. How is this even still close?
No. It's not. How is this close? Because you dominated me in the other side. Like, I got Dex wrong, and I got Hidden wrong, and I got Spellcaster wrong. So that was my oopsie. But yeah, still not enough.
I wish I predicted for Panu.
See? Told you. Alright. Time to move on to week number 2. First off,
Yeah.
we gotta...
You're looking forward to it, right, Micoy?
Your evil laugh tells me not to look forward to this week because A, I'm subbing out because I have to travel, and B, well, the matchup is not very good in... Anyway, our rule set, so we have the 8 tiers, of course. The eight tiers, of course, and the rule set this time for Mystery OU will be alphabet moves. Every Pokemon's moves and its items has to start with a letter in the Pokemon's name. Well, first, for example, Urshifu shall use U-Turn, Surging Strikes, Iron Head, and Ice Spinner because it all has moves with Urshifu's, like, all the letters in Urshifu's name have those exact moves that start with that letter. So we'll keep a close eye on some of the move sets that you'll guys choose. Basically, people with S names. Basically, people with S in their name. Stand up, rise up. You're getting the spotlight this tier.
Oh, for real, there are so many moves that start with S.
Yes, I counted. There are over 70 or 80, even 100. I failed. Anyway, next up, also alternate forms doesn't count towards the rules, so Urshifu Rapid Strike will not be using anything that will start with the letter A.
Wait, both Urshifus are banned. Oh, wait, yeah, that's what you meant. Oh.
Yeah, Urshifu Rapid...
A better example, like how Landorus Therian, you can only use the letters of Landorus, not Therian.
Right. That's probably a better explanation. And of course, the Ranbats that were selected for the multi-gen Ranbats are Gen 2, your favorite.
Ugh, but God, I hate Gen 2.
Gen 4 and Gen 5, which I've started to play a little bit more in ladder recently. And yeah, I just missed the Sinnoh meta and the Unova meta.
Yeah, those 2 gens are fine.
Especially in Rands, both are great. So, let's predict our 24 games, and because the OMMs, my team, and the Litwicks, PokeArt and Euphonos team, they're facing off against each other, so we will not predict our own matchups. Let's predict the other 24 matchups, huh?
I guess we're not doing any sort of special thing where we just try to convince the viewers who will win.
Oh, we can do that. We can do that.
Yelling at each other.
Yeah, we'll yell at each other. We'll debate. First off, though, let's lead with the Absolute Posters versus the Alcoholics. First off,
Slaughter time.
PokeAA. Tranquility versus Panu. I mean, come on. I want Panu to win. The guy's good when he is motivated, but, like, it's Axe God.
I don't know. know. This seems close.
You think that this is close? Really? This seems like not a very good match. I expect Panda to do well, but like Tranquility is gonna win. I'm gonna pick Tranquility.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with that too, because Axe probably has much better support.
Stab and Mega. They're Ice Master versus Derpy Boy. Now, this is a game I would say that is a little bit closer than the PokeAA game, but
Oh, frick no, is this closer? PokeAA is much closer than this.
no, I still think Derpy Boy would. Still Derpy Boy. I have faith in Derpy Boy, but I'm still gonna
He's
pick.
gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna pick Ice Master because the slaughtering is real.
You see, I think I would pick Ice Master over TPP Thrower.
Ooh, that's a bold statement. But it's true. Next up, National Deck Same 6. Temp versus Hidden. Hidding? I don't know. Look at this.
First,
What?
this he said?
What?
Is that what you said? Temp versus Hidden?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear the first thing you said. I only heard Hidden.
Okay. But look at the same 6 that they brought. Heliolisk, Kamala, Mach, Passimian, Smeargle, and Throw. I feel like I could see some heat going on, so I'm gonna pick Temp.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be heat going on. There's a Smeargle.
Yeah, there is a Smeargle. So yeah, Temp. I would say Temp. Even though Hidden's like alright, he's like decent, but like Temp does amazing
I
things.
haven't really seen enough of Hidden to really know, so I'll go with Temp, because Temp is a certified chef.
Yeah, certified chef. Mwah. Mystery OU. Shiloh versus Dugza. Kind of a highlight match, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I say so as well.
Both players are pretty good in OU. Who's much more favored here? I think Shiloh.
It's hard to say, because, well, I feel like Dugza is probably going to be better in the builder for this.
Really?
Shiloh might be better as a player?
I'm thinking the opposite. I think Shiloh's the better builder while Dugza's the better player.
But last week, for reference, Dugza brought mono green.
I mean, it's good. He proved it at being
No one else
good.
brought mono green. It was a very unique team. Like, half of everyone brought mono brown, Shiloh included.
But yeah, Mono Green was good, but like I feel like he'll do something crazy here as well. But I say Shiloh was favored, but I actually am gonna pick Dugza.
I think I'll also pick Dugza because I think builder will be very important here.
Right, okay. So we both picked Dugza. PIC, Zoe versus Yuki. Both incredible builders.
Damn.
Yeah, this is a hype. This is a matchup for the ages, ladies and gentlemen. Is it gonna be as good as Yuki versus Chromate or Zoe versus Zern? Hard to say, but who's gonna win? Both are amazing PIC builders. Who's gonna win?
I don't know. Zoe had a really good showing, and Yuki's showing wasn't bad, but Chromate was better.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick Yuki.
Pick Yuki too.
Really? I thought you were gonna go Zoe based on the win.
I don't really know them. I don't really, thing is, Yuki faced Chromate and put up a pretty good fight, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Just Chromate out-teched him. But, Zoe faced someone who didn't play the tier.
Right, Zern.
So it's hard to really say which is better.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I hope we get some good ones. Multi-gen rants.
No,
Cash.
I feel like half of our predicts so far are wrong.
Yikes. Is this the Yoko curse? I don't know. The multi-gen rants. We got casual.exe versus fragments. This already happened. And casual won.
I think I was gonna predict casual anyway.
Me too. I honestly would have predicted casual. Even though fragments good, like casuals. Between the two rand staff mains, casual does the bigger brain juice.
Like, you didn't even mention that they already played, and the moment you said the matchup, I was thinking probably casual.
Yeah, me too. I was also thinking casual, like before the game, before they played. National Dex Ubers, the Strap versus Ainscrad.
Oh, the Strap.
I will. Yes, I will also pick the Strap. I really wanted Ainscrad to win. I really want Ainscrad to like upset us, but I think the Strap.
Dex Ubers is unironically pretty stacked.
It is, but yeah, the Strap will win. Next up is Camo Cap, the Number Man versus Siphicon, and I feel like this was a match that was already played in TPP.
No idea, but it's a curb stomp.
Yeah. As much as we want our Siffy boy to win, the Number Man is gonna take it.
This is probably even worse of a matchup than Atrax Madera versus...
Anyone versus the Number Man is a bad matchup.
True.
Alright, next up, the Full Moon Frost Mods versus the Dave's Decidueyes. Both teams lost last week, and let's see if they can pull off a win here and maybe impress us a little bit as well. PokeAAA, we got Don Vasquez versus Fabwulu.
Fabwulu.
Oh, Joey, huh? Okay, why did you say Joey?
Well, he beat Axe last week, and based on what I've seen, he's clearly in it to win it.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest of his team. I didn't say anything.
But the Don Vasquez can cook. Okay, alright. Don't forget.
Yeah, but Joey can... but Fabwulu can also cook.
I honestly want to pick Don here. Even though Joey's great. I would not be surprised if Joey wins. I think my gut instinct is telling me Don Vasquez. So I'm thinking Don Vasquez.
Well, my mind instinct is telling me this is a clear Fabwulu win.
We'll see. We'll see. Stab and Mega. We got Elgino versus Metariolu. Yikes. Going from Ice Master.
I think I'm going Elgino.
Yikes. Going from Ice Master to Elgino. This is not looking good for Metariolu. I'm also gonna pick Elgino.
Look, the showing for Metariolu was just really bad last week.
I hope this doesn't repeat again. Please.
I'm not the highest on Elgino as a S&M player. He's good, but like,
He's fine.
Not the best.
He's fine.
But
He's
like,
fine.
yeah, Metariolu just had a poor showing, so going Elgino here.
He's fine. National Deck same 6. Piyush versus TPP. And look at them. What is this? That is the same 6, ladies and gentlemen. We got Altaria, Blastoise, Farfetch'd, Lapras, Malamar, and The Thing.
The Thing?
The Thing. The Pyukamoku. The thing that I could see going with the most heat.
Oh, that is a weird same 6.
That is a very weird same 6. But I think TPP will win because it's TPP.
TPP can cook with weird mons, surely.
Yes. You're also going with TPP or what?
Oh, this is Piyush versus TPP. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention, so I was like, wait, who's TPP facing here? I had to double check.
It's Piyush.
Yeah, I think TPP will win versus Piyush.
Mystery OU, we got Reginald versus Dex.
Ooh.
Reginald is good in OU, I will say. Reginald's good in OU. Dex can also be pretty good in OU. But with regards to last week, hopefully this doesn't happen again. It's basically the matchup of Haxed versus Outplayed.
Part of me wants to say Dex. What do you think?
I honestly want to see Reginald. Without the hacks, I think Reginald could easily champion everything in OU. So I think I'm leaning Reginald.
Okay, I'll go Dex. Why not?
Okay. Agree to disagree. PIC, we got Instruct versus Zern.
This is a little difficult.
Yeah, Instruct is good building. Zern is good playing. Although Zern hasn't been really able to, like, he's not grasped PIC yet. Instruct clearly has. He is the council leader. He is the PIC leader after all. But his playing is a little bit, shall we say, up and downy.
You know what? I think I'll go with Instruct on the assumption that he builds better.
Yes, me too. I honestly am thinking Instruct. Even though Zern easily is the better player, if we're talking doubles, like normal doubles, Zern, 100%. But this is...
Zern brought a relatively standard team last week, you know, Cresselia and all of that.
Yeah.
And now that Cresselia's gone, standard is going to get a bit of a new definition, and I don't think Zern will be able to... I don't have confidence that Zern will be able to bring something good into this Cresselia-less meta.
Mm-hmm. Now, it is now Cresselia's meta. Yeah, Instruct... Plus the fact that Instruct can easily, like, easily can adapt mons into going to build certain situations for it. Who knows? Maybe we'll see an example of that in this game. Next up, multi-gen rans. We got Yes or No My Dude versus Super Epic Euphonos. Both lost last week to AeroB and Casual.exe respectively. So who do you think?
Who do you think played better?
I think it's a no-brainer. I think Super Epic Euphonos actually played a lot better than Yes or No My Dude. So, and especially with this having older gens being the focus, like Gen 2, 4, and 5, I think Super Epic Euphonos has the win here.
Alright, I'll agree with you then.
Next up, and the Ubers. Concept Everything versus Spellcaster. Yeah. Both lost last week.
I'm gonna go with Concept Everything.
Yeah, I also agree. Like, he played a little bit better than what Spellcaster brought last week. So, this is Concept Everything's game. And then Camo Cap. We got Saba versus Atrax Madara. Excuse me. That's a Saba win. Don't you agree?
You say it's a Saba win?
Saba versus Atrax Madara.
You know what? I think I am inclined to agree.
Saba, hopefully, will do better. Next up, the Anaster Articunos versus the Twin Leaf Tankatons. PokeAAA, Phantos13 versus Swiftix. Phantos13 has been around since January 2016, so he should probably know what to expect with this meta, right? Right?
That does not mean he should know what to expect, no.
But Swiftix, you know, he may not have the best.
Swiftix brought a decent team last week. He just didn't know what Ability Shield is.
Yeah, he did bring a pretty neat team, and I think with the support, I think Swiftix will win.
I'll go with Swiftix. Their support will be the Tinkaton support will be better this week, I'm sure, since they now know a bit more about the meta with now knowing what the ability shield is. I think Swiftix will win, and I also do not know much of anything about Phantos 13.
Well, you never know. Maybe Phantos 13 is actually a secret OMM champion. I don't know. Stab and Banga. Oakleys versus Zastra.
I think I'm gonna predict Oakleys here.
Me too. I'm not surprised that you picked Oakleys, especially after the way he went last week. Which was pretty good. I think Oakleys is gonna win against Zastra.
Alright, agree.
Next up, National Dex Same 6. Lady Salamence versus GXE.
Okay. Now Lady Salamence cooked last week versus Siffy.
No.
Absolutely.
He only used Regirock that one time, okay? Is that a good indication on how we'll predict Game 6 will go?
Looking at the Mons, I see a lot of offense, which is kind of what TMM versus GXE's game was like, and GXE clobbered TMM kind of.
So, are we going?
I personally think GXE will win here.
Yeah, me too. I think GXE cooks harder than Lady Salamence, so this is gonna be GXE's win. Next up, Mystery OU. We got Skimmy the God versus Avarice.
Avarice.
Yeah, as much as we want Skimmy to absolutely be good at OU, he's facing off against only one of the best players on this pool. So yes, Avarice to win. Next up, PIC, Chromate versus Smudge. This is gonna be curb stomp. This is gonna be a curb stomp and a half. I'm sorry, Smudge. Chromate to win, 100%.
I'm not sorry, Smudge.
Wow. Watch if Smudge beats you and... Oh, wait. You already won against Smudge. Next up, Multi-Gen Rands. Irene 2002 versus Luke. How do you even say it? Luke QQ? Luck?
I don't know who that guy is. Who is it?
Apparently Luke is a goat, so... Luke? Yeah, Luke. I have no faith in Irene after what they did against Fragments in week 1, so yeah, I think Luke.
God damn. Hard.
Alright, next up, NDUbers. FC versus Tear Acid. This is just the loveliest murder.
Yep. Hahaha.
In Tear Acid's favor. I'm kidding, it's FC. It's FC, 100%.
1000% even.
Ugh. And then, Camo Cap. Oh boy, we got a highlight, ladies and gentlemen. Mossy Sandwich versus Kepper.
Ooh, crap. This
is a highlight.
Oh, this is kind of hype.
Yeah, the 2 Camo Cap matches will be curb stomps, but this one, and the next one will be highlight matches at the wazoo. Mossy versus Kepper. This one's gonna be tough. So, who do we want? Who do we want to pick?
Damn, I don't really know.
Mossy is...
Who are you picking?
Mossy's great at building, so is Kepper though. Both are great builders, and when playing, they can absolutely dominate a game. I'm
going for Mossy.
You're going for Mossy? I'm going for Kepper. Yeah. Agree to disagree.
Yeah, this is a toss-up.
This is a huge toss-up. And finally, we got the Limasawa Street Litwigs versus the OMMs. Let's defend our players. First off, PokeArt2004 versus Eggs.
You see, Rafna won last week quite well. Eggs did not.
But-
Lost John Vasquez.
Eggs is a better builder than Rafna. Eggs can absolutely cook when he needs to, and I think Eggs is going to slaughter Rafna.
I think you underestimate Rafna in builder then.
Yeah, Rafna should not be underestimated, of course, but I have faith in the boy Eggs.
I don't have faith in him. I have all the faith in Rafna, for he will slaughter your eggs. He will scramble your eggs. Hard boil them even.
Ha ha, Eggs joke. Stab and Mega! Axel versus the Dragon Master.
I hope you didn't plan on winning this.
No, he will. He will cook. I will check even my own team chat.
In terms of prep.
Oh, you know what? No, my man is cooking. I won't.
He has like well over 10 teams in the S&M chat that he's probably just gonna bring during various weeks.
My man is cooking. And be cooking.
And some of these sets are insane.
I have faith in my.
Dragon Master cannot hope to be a top tier chef as Axel.
Well, also, Axel wanted me to play me in S&M for some reason. I can't build for shiz in S&M. Sorry, Axel. Next up, National.
You can't play that.
No. What do you? I haven't played a single OMM in the TP leaderboard. That just goes how much to show you how much I've cared about OMMs. Next up, National Dex same six. We got TMM versus Black Knight Gawain.
Okay, TMM had a bad week.
Black Knight Gawain. He admittedly doesn't want to play same six. He kind of hates it.
Yeah, he kind of said that.
Yeah.
So this is where TMM gets his first win, you see.
No, this is where Black Knight Gawain gets his first win. Just the faith in Gawain, ladies and gentlemen. Faith in Gawain.
No, sir. See, TMM actually wants to play this tier, though.
Now, I will make sure to prep with the mons that they have chosen, because you can build with a lot of great sets with these mons. I'm already thinking of like a couple that I won't, of course, reveal.
I've been thinking 4 parallel universes ahead of what you're thinking about.
Nah, I might be cooking a little bit more than you have.
No, you don't know.
You don't know,
I've been-
Jack.
been very busy last night, you see.
Mystery OU. We got JJ versus Sylveon Use Calm Mind.
Know many of the ins and outs of this, and I am confident that we will out-prep you. I am confident that you guys will screw up.
SPL top 4,
and
Sylveon Use Calm Mind.
banned.
SCL top 4, Sylveon Use Calm Mind. Great record in BLT, Sylveon Use Calm Mind. That should be enough indication on how good Sylveon Use Calm Mind is.
This is going to depend on prep, and I'm certain we will out-prep you.
I will
For I
make
have done my
sure.
research on this tier.
I will make sure to prep Sylveon with a good team. I hope.
You will bring something illegal, I guarantee it.
God damn it. Don't leak my prep. What are you doing, woman? Next up, PIC, Jaspros versus Class.
Jaspersy is already cooking.
Class, you better cook. I hope you are watching this so I know you can cook.
He's already got an idea.
No,
And
I don't have an idea on what
Well-
Class is cooking, but I hope he can. He will beat
he's
Jaspros.
already got an idea of what he's gonna bring. He hasn't actually posted anything yet.
Oh, same with Class. I think he has an idea, but he hasn't posted. All right.
I think Jask will have an advantage because he knows the tier much better.
I think Class is gonna have. I hope like Class gets enough support and actually tests games and actually doesn't put Lunar Dance anymore. Lunar Blessing.
You don't have to worry about that. There's no Cresselia.
Thank
Maybe
God.
you should bring Cresselia anyways, so that way it doesn't matter.
God damn it. No. Learn your lesson, Class. Don't use Classelia. No. Multi-generans. We got Los Gona Shoto versus Guard.
Run while you still can.
Listen, I know we put Guard in Rambats. But he is a goated player. He can beat Losco. I have faith. I have faith in my Guard sweeper. Even though I kind of questioned it at the beginning on why Guard was placed in Rans and not Ubers.
Like half your team is questioning it.
But no. You know what? We're sticking in it. We're cooking. As well as the next match. ND Uber's Farce of Death versus Aero B.
I don't know what Araby's cooking, but it can't be better than what Farce is cooking.
Oh, I know what Araby's cooking. He's gonna be cooking hard. I can guarantee you,
It's gonna be raw.
It's
It's gonna
good.
be raw.
It's raw. It's good. It's Gordon Ramsay. It's Gordon Ramsay raw. Gordon Ramsay approves. And finally, Euphonos versus Carl Dude Guy, a rematch from TPP 3, where Carl won last time.
Oh no. Look, I'm just gonna... Youth isn't here anymore, but Youth, you can do this. Just don't bring anything like too weird to the point where it's a little too weird.
I know. Carl's been cooking ever since he won his game last week. Carl's been cooking heat.
Well, we're already cooking.
Oh,
The cooking has begun.
no.
The stove is on.
We're sizzling. We're sizzling the fire right now, and we're ready to like bring the cook into your game.
Admittedly, Carl versus Youth is the only real match I'm scared of.
Hey, be scared of all of these. We are winning against the Litwicks. Trust the OMMs.
I beat you all the time.
Bruh. But I'm not manager, so ha. Just, even though still, I have faith in my team, okay? Anyway, that is the end of the Taurus Plus Premiere Week 2 podcast. Thank you to Euphonos. I'm sorry he didn't get to join for all of the podcast, but I'm glad he was here.
Yeah, I'm just sad he didn't get to join for the All Out War section that we just completed.
So thank God, I feel somewhat safe now. But yeah, thank you to you for at least appearing on this podcast to give us his insight. And don't worry, we're gonna count his predictions when he posts his predictions. So thank you all for watching. Please like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you wouldn't miss a video once it come out. Next week, week 2 recap, week 3 predictions. Maybe a special guest. Who knows? Anyway.
Yeah, we'll see.
Thank you all for watching. This has been Micoy, signing out.
Goodbye.